What's happening, man? It's Sam from Yin Yang again, and what I'll be doing is I'll be watching every single UFC main event that's ever happened, and today we're watching UFC 5, Ken Shamrock versus Royce Gracie 2, so let's go. Alright, so we got Ken Shamrock, Royce Gracie standing up. Royce Gracie's last performance against Zan 7 might have been one of the most boring UFC fights I've ever watched in my life, but those are some great kicks to the body by Royce Gracie, teeps to the knee, great takedown by Ken Shamrock. Royce Gracie defending in guard. Now I'm hoping this doesn't stay like this for the whole 30-minute time limit. He's teasing the triangle, but no, good wrestling by Shamrock. You can tell Shamrock was on all of the juice back then as well. Ooh. Yep, we might have another long bout. That's what the commentator just said. So yeah, get cozy. Even though the last fight was very boring, you know, it was like 15 minutes of grappling on the floor with not much position moving at all. I was so stoked when Royce Gracie pulled off that submission. So as much as Royce Gracie is a legend, I feel like if the first like 20 UFC events were like this, where he was just laying in guard, I don't think the UFC would have took off as prominently as it did, to be quite honest with you. John McCarthy keeps saying, keep it working, but they're not changing anything. He's not standing them up. So we're 5 minutes through and they yet again have not advanced any positions. We've been in Royce Gracie's guard for 5 full minutes more or less, much like the last fight. So you know, you can see why the rules came into place as to why they have to get standing up, because this is just not an entertaining fight. Now the crowd are booing. Now I've watched every single UFC main event. This is the first official time that fans have booed a UFC main event, which is always weird because the fans who are booing, like, what are you doing? You're sat there drinking beer. You don't have the balls to get in the cage like that, but you're going to drink your beer and boo some people who are having a fight. Stop it. Oh, Royce Gracie's peppering him with left hooks from the bottom. Now we've got headbutts from Shamrock. Now, should headbutts be legal still to this day? Because it's an effective method. I mean, it does look quite brutal, but you know, you're still kicking someone in the head. Like, oh, he's kneeing his arsehole. It seems like that can't feel nice. 8 minutes in, still no advancements, but you have to think someone's going to give when both of them get a little bit more fatigued. But we'll just have to wait and see, because Royce Gracie can stay here all day. Now I know there's some casual fans now who still think jiu-jitsu is a bit boring, but it's really not. It's entertaining, the intricacies of it all. But if you're just going to sit in the guard like you are now, this is really not entertaining. But now, these guys have fought before, and it was relatively quick. Royce Gracie choked them out, but looks like Ken Shamrock's improved his game from UFC 1 for sure. If this happened these days, both fighters would be cut from the roster quicker than Dana's fucking head can turn pink. Alright, so the commentator just said that stand-ups actually are allowed. If there's no action, they'll both get stood up. Surely this is enough reason to stand up the fighters. We've been here for about 12-13 minutes now in the guard of Royce Gracie. I get jiu-jitsu was new. You know, we don't know the ins and outs at this point in time, but it doesn't look like anything eventful is going to happen. Alright, so we're about 20 minutes in now, and honestly, guys, there's been nothing to report this far. Still in Royce Gracie's guard. To be honest, I've just been thinking about the steak I'm going to cook after I record this video, so yeah. Now, Royce Gracie's just slapping the neck of Ken Shamrock now. Interesting. If there is judges here, I would say that Royce Gracie has won this so far. So, you know, he's definitely put in more work than just lying on top of him, that, just like Ken Shamrock has. Alright, 2 minutes left. Hopefully some good action now. What you got to lose? 2 minutes left. Get up. If I was Ken Shamrock, I'd get up. I'd start, you know, soccer kicking him or something like that. Alright, that's it. 30 minutes. 30 minutes done. So 30 minutes is the time limit. It is 30 minutes now, but nobody's stopped the fight. Where is the organisation here? Okay, so there's a 5-minute overtime. So 30 minutes of this wasn't boring enough. We're not going to stand them up. We'll just let them do this for another 5 minutes. Jesus. Oh, so 31 minutes has passed. John McCarthy has finally stood them up. Oh, good shot by Shamrock. Now they're back just to where they were in normal time. Now Royce Gracie split up and Shamrock caught him with a good right hand. Probably enough to win the fight, to be honest with you, considering what's happened. Alright, so 3 minutes left, and I don't think I've ever wanted a UFC fight to end as fast as this one right here. So 3 minutes of overtime happened. Crowd are booing. They're not happy. To be honest, it is what it is. I said I'd watch every single UFC main event. not all of them are going to be wars, you know, so we're just here learning the history, seeing how far it came, but you have to appreciate it. These are the early days. What can you do, eh? Alright, that's it. Fight's over. It's ended in a draw, even though Royce Gracie looks fucked up on his face. He's got a black eye, he's bleeding. Yeah, that's it, man. A draw. Boos are echoing around a small arena. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let's hope UFC 6 is more entertaining. I'll see you then.